Why is he suddenly so interested in me? Because he likes us? Maybe. Because he likes Marc? Probably.
We're born in the moonlight. Ain't no fair to say. Can't breathe in the sunlight.
Hello Romas, this is Aromie here. Welcome back to Changeling. I just did a little lunch break and now I am back to record some more because I'm very obsessed with this game. And because Tyler isn't home yet, so I have time. Alright, then again, the thought of waking up to Marc perched on my windowsill was equally unnerving, even more so exactly. At least the brownie wouldn't make fun of me for drooling on my pillow. I mean, Marc's an owl, she doesn't know that yet though. I shut my eyes and tried to snatch a few more minutes of sleep before the alarm. Michiko, it's time! Ugh. I rolled over unhappily. After laying there with my eyes popping open every few minutes to check the time, I had finally dozed off at some point. But I woke up again feeling like I hadn't slept at all. I snuggled into my blankets briefly before forcing myself out of bed. My phone chimed in the middle of dressing. Just checking in. Everything's okay. Nothing happened as far as I can tell. Glad to hear it. I'll see you in a little while. Have something for you. Okay, see you then. Miracle of miracles, the bathroom was actually free when I wanted to use it. I went to quickly brush my teeth and wash my face. I looked better than I felt for a change. Still, even if the dark circles had faded, the weirdest dreams of waking up at night were starting to get to me for sure. I grabbed my book bag, shoved all my things in, and headed out my door. Ugh! I nearly fell headlong into the hall when my feet hit something in my doorway. I glared at the pair of boots crumbled on the floor there. I'd forgotten that I put them there the previous night, hoping my sleepwalking self wouldn't be smart enough to step over them. Looks like my waking self isn't smart enough to step over them either. What are you doing? Nothing, trying to trip over a pair of shoes left out. I quickly kicked them out of the way and stepped into the hallway, pulling my door shut behind me. Spencer eyed me suspiciously. You left a pair of shoes in your door. Yeah, stupid me. Can you let me by? Have you seen the keys this morning? No, as usual. That little rat. What's still homicide if the victim was a fairy? Spencer closed in, eyes narrowed. I backed up against my door. Are you the one taking them? Please explain to me how I can sneak into your room and take the keys without you noticing. While I'm in the shower. You were out of the shower by the time I got up. If you really think I would get up, sneak into your room to get your keys, then hide them, and then go back to bed, you really don't know me very well. There's no way I'd get up early for that. Well, you're not wrong about me not knowing you well. What does that even mean? Well, as enlightening as that answer was, can I go now? Since we were out of the way, still eyeing me suspiciously. He didn't say anything else as I started downstairs. Ugh, that stupid brownie. I really needed to figure out how to make it stop harassing him. Mom was nowhere to be found, so I quickly poured myself some coffee and leaned against the counter as Spencer came down in search of the keys. I didn't see the brownie anywhere either, so I assumed it was mid-hiding caper, or had scuffered. I feel like I have food on my lip. Or it scurried off to wherever. Did I say scuffered? What the hell? To wherever it went when it didn't want to be seen. Spencer vanished into the foyer while I finished draining the coffee. I rinsed my cup and grabbed a bite of egg toast so Mom wouldn't complain, then headed outside to wait for Allie. She pulled up only a few minutes after I left the house. I was being a little weird about the whole Spencer thing as I got into her car. He was still being a paranoid jerk, but something seemed a little different about him. I wasn't sure what it was. Maybe he was more guarded, less overtly angry. How was last night? No frolicking in the woods while asleep, but that's what you mean. Well, I'm glad to hear that. At the very least, you look kind of tired, though. Yeah, I woke up early. Weird dream. Ever had that feeling of falling that wakes you up suddenly? Ugh, yeah. That an hour before their alarm. Ouch. Brutal. No kidding. You know what? You say you have something for me? Yeah, something for the sleepwalking. She reached into the side of the compartment of her door and pulled out a little black velvety pouch. She held it out to me. I reached for it gingerly. It had something glass inside. Pulling open the drawstring, I fell around inside. I lifted a little jar out of the... Oh, right, duh. I assumed it was just filled with powder. Okay. I lifted a little jar out by the cork in the opening. What's this? I slid my fingers down the jar, but hissed softly and immediately dropped it back into the pouch. Sorry, are you okay? Yeah, but what the heck? I looked down at my fingers curiously, trying to rub the sensation away. They weren't red or anything, but that definitely stung. I didn't think it would burn you through the glass. It doesn't really hurt that much. I was mostly just startled, but what is that? St. John's wort, a fairy bane. Fairy bane? I always thought I was just allergic to it. I have read a bit about that. Certain plants or substances that typically weren't well liked or tolerated by fairies. Some were specific to certain subspecies, but others were sort of universally hated. I frowned slightly, to be honest. I hadn't expected something like that to work on me. Or rather, I hadn't really even considered the possibility of something like that working on me. So, why are you giving me plants I hate? Just out of curiosity? Well, I was thinking about your sleepwalking issue, and I couldn't really come up with a good but unobtrusive way to keep you in your room at night. But I have a friend who's a little better at potions than me. She suggested fairy banes. St. John's Wort is used to create low-level barriers to keep fae out, so we figured if you sprinkle some of that in your doorway at night, it might help you keep you in. Okay. It'll either keep you from leaving, or the moment you try to cross it, the stinging sensation will hopefully wake you up. Well, that last part sounds pleasant. It was all the two of us could come up with on short notice. Stinging sensation is better than waking up in the middle of nowhere at night, so I'm not going to complain. At least no more than usual. Are you calling me a complainer? A little bit, yeah. You're mean, just honest. So what's the other jar? I peeked into the black pouch and poked at the second jar with my fingertip. That one didn't burn me. Well, eventually you are going to have to get out of your room, so you need a way to dispel the barrier. That's true. I can't imagine trying to explain to Mom that I can't go to school due to the fairy bane in my doorway. Yeah, I can't see that going over well. So anyway, the second jar contains crushed up bluebells and thyme. You can use to dispel the St. John's Wort. I labeled jars on the bottom to help you keep them straight. The fact that one burns me and one doesn't is also a good distinguishing feature. It does help, yeah. It wouldn't be, well, the one they showed us was green. The other one would be blue and green. Because bluebells are blue, right? I'm assuming. Thanks for helping with this, I mean. Of course, I'm going to help. There's no way I'm going to let you wander around at night, especially this time of year. Or any time of year? Yes. Listen, we need to figure out the sleepwalking, come up with a permanent solution. But for now, we can try this, just as a temporary measure. Sorry, had a burp. In the meantime, you may want to focus your efforts a bit more on figuring out what the sleepwalking thing is about. Well, I have tried, but it's not exactly something that's easy to find. There aren't a lot of accounts of humans with fae heritage to begin with, or fae with human heritage. Either one, and so far, none of the ones I found involve sleepwalking. I understand, believe me, I know how hard it is to find information. Isn't there some kind of database or something? I mean, it would be so much faster if I could work on a computer instead of using old books. Don't get me wrong, I love old books, but researching the old-fashioned way is a huge pain. There actually is a database, but it's not available to the public. What? Why? Well, a lot of cryptic communities don't actually like information about their history, strengths, and weaknesses out there for just anyone to easily find. Some of them, like the Fae, guard their information pretty zealously. It's hard to find accurate information on them at all, much less to compile it in an easy accessible database. I'm really surprised fairies understand the concept of database. Well, enough to complain about it. There are agreements in place preventing the public release of some of this information, so we have access to whatever books the library has managed to compile over the years. Ugh, what a pain. You can always talk to Vilos about it. He's practically a walking database anyway. Yeah, he also told me I should ask for help, but I don't know. I don't mind telling you. He's there to help us, you know. Yeah, but I don't know him yet. Not as anything more than the grumpy man that lives in a magic library. He's not grumpy, and he doesn't live in the library. Sure, if you say so. Oh, I gotta less brighten my camera. If you say so, just consider it, okay? He's the one who helped me when I first stepped into the world, you know? Vilos is? He's the wizard that helped you when you got into trouble? That's right, he saved my life. Why so surprised? I scratched my cheek thoughtfully. To be honest, I guess I have a hard time seeing him as a wizard at all. He just seems so normal. I keep telling you that we're all just regular people. I know, but it's hard to think of everyone that way. I mean, he's a wizard! Shouldn't he have a pointy hat or something? Hey now, that's an offensive stereotype. But I think you'd look good in a pointy hat. About as good as you look in a little green dress and pom-poms on your shoes. I don't know, green looks pretty good on me. Anyhow, how are things with Spencer? I don't know. I think he suspects a lot more than he lets on. Okay, well, just be careful and keep an eye on him. To be honest, I'd rather not bring him up to Vilos just yet. Why not? Well, if Spencer's like you, or even if he just has some kind of sensitivity to the paranormal, I'd really prefer to introduce him to all this sort of delicately. Vilos doesn't really do delicate. I mean, you're way more reasonable than Spencer, and think of how you handled it. I don't think I handled it that badly. You passed out. Let's not mention that. Because I ran face first into a headless person. Anyone is going to pass out if they see that. I didn't. Well, you went and got yourself nearly killed beforehand and were saved by a wizard. You were, already mentally prepared for the weird. You just pulled me into a weird room, told me magic was real, and boom, headless classmate. Totally not the same thing. Well, there you go. Probably even more evidence we need to take it easy with Spencer. If we keep you away from him. I just think we need a really solid game plan. Springing it on him the way we did to you is not going to work out well for anyone. Can't argue there. And if it turns out that Spencer's a normal human, I really just don't want Vilos to do anything drastic. Drastic like altering his memory? Oh, good grief, that's the thing? Would he really do that? If he thought Spencer was a danger to the community, yeah, he would. Spencer probably understands better than anyone what happens when you try to tell people about things like this. Even so, I'd rather not go down that road unless we have to. Same, he's already got enough issues without some wizard scrambling his brains with magic. How did it not work on Grant Mitchell then? Because it didn't work. Because he unlocked it back, so it's kind of, what the fuck. Alec gave me a quick hug. Well, we'll work it out. I like to wait until after Samhain. I'm swamped with little odd jobs and errands for the agency. After the holiday, we can really sit down together and come up with a strategy, okay? Can you hold out until that? It's not that far away. I think it'll be okay. Good. On that note, I've got to run. He left me there to go inside. I stood in the parking lot for a few minutes enjoying the cool air. Honestly, if we could bring Spencer into all of this, I felt like it would make things easier. If he knew the secret, I wouldn't have to deal with the stress of keeping it from him. Besides, if I could explain that I was looking for answers as to what happened, maybe he'd open up, and if he knew whatever I'd done was not intentional. But I shouldn't get too far ahead of myself. Whatever happened, I doubt it was going to be that easy. The building was quiet, as it usually was at this time. I'm trying to remember which route I really liked the development of Spencer, and I think it was probably Danny's route, or maybe it was Williams. I don't know. Maybe it was Danny's route, how they introduced Spencer into everything. I went straight to my locker and dropped some things off. In the morning like this, before people started arriving, the first floor started to feel a bit like the fourth. It was hard to describe why, but it just felt eerie. I suppose that would have been true for any school. Why are empty schools so creepy anyway? I sighed and shut my locker, trying to ignore the prickles on the back of my neck. Two hands suddenly closed over my shoulders. Hello? Is this Adrian? Get the fuck out. I let out a yelp and rounded on the intruder, math book aimed at the head level. Oh shit. Whoa! The book collided with Adrian's outstretched hand, mere inches from his face. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Not really. He was staring at me a little wide-eyed. Probably wasn't expecting me to try to brain him with a textbook for daring to say hello. We stood there staring at each other awkwardly for a beat before I lowered the book sheepishly. Hi. Hi. You okay? I didn't mean to startle you. Sorry, I just didn't hear anyone walk up behind me and then you... No, it's my fault. I shouldn't have grabbed you like that. I didn't expect you to go into attack mode. It was more self-defense, I think. Defense? I wasn't attacking you. I just touched your shoulders. I sighed. I am sorry. I just have been seeing a lot of weird things at school lately. It's put me a little on edge. Like that old lady. But she wasn't at school. Really? You can see them. I mean, I know there are things lurking around. You can smell them, right? No, not really. I can sense them more than anything else. Really? I thought vampires had some kind of amazing sense of smell. Mark and Ellie can smell them. Adrian couldn't quite hide the way he wrinkled his nose slightly. Not all vampires have a ridiculous sense of smell. Just the kind that, you know... He made a motion with his fingers like he was drinking. The ones that get drunk? He rolled his eyes. You know what I'm talking about. Don't all vampires, you know? I mimicked the drinking motion he just made. Well, you really don't know much about this world, do you? Wait, not all vampires drink blood? I haven't had time to read up on vampires. Busy researching other things. Oh really? What are you busy researching? I already told you that I'm researching fairies. Right, I remember. Looking for anything in particular or just reading about them in general? I didn't want to tell him. As much as I was telling myself to not be like my brother, I couldn't shake that feeling that I couldn't trust him. I didn't know what he wanted or why he was talking to me. I felt a bit too trusting. To confess, I literally knew nothing about myself. But if he's like Mark, then I won't be able to cover it up anyway. Then again, he had just indicated he wasn't like Mark, so maybe it wouldn't matter. Trying to learn about brownies. I mean, that's not wrong. I am. I decided to take the route of misdirection, just because I didn't know anything about myself. That didn't mean I had to broadcast it to someone I didn't know. And I definitely wasn't going to mention things like sleepwalking and fairy banes to Adrian. I'm researching tutelary spirits at the moment, and that is fairies that live in people's houses. We have one living with us. It's called a brownie. It's taken to prank at my brother in the mornings. Today I'm going to be trying to figure out how to appease it so it stops. That sounds frustrating. How do you make it mad? I don't know for sure yet, but its pranks are driving us both mad. Mad? Nuts. Last Friday it put his toothbrush in the toilet. Adrian laughed. It's not funny. He keeps blaming me. Come to think of it, I don't think I've met your brother before. Lucky you. Huh? Sorry, we just don't get along. Oh really? Now I'm even more curious. Maybe I'll see you in the club sometime. Ignoring that. That aside, I don't usually see you in the mornings. What are you doing here? Art club again. We're just working on the art exhibit. Speaking of which, Reina said you might try to enter something. Oh, well, I brought a few things just to show her and see what she thinks, but I don't know if they're good enough. Can I see them? I've seen your projects in class. You're pretty talented. I flushed slightly. I don't know about that. Anyway, want to come with me? I was going to stop by the drama storage room for some supplies. Then go up. You can show me your stuff on the way. I don't want to! I'm trying to go for Marc! I can't. I really need to do some reading in the club today. Maybe later. Okay, don't forget though. I'm gonna forget right now. Gone. What were we talking about? I won't. She won't. I will. He started down toward the theater room. I watched him go, frowning slightly. Why is he suddenly so interested in me? Because he likes us? Maybe. Because he likes Marc? Probably. Ugh, vampires. Just what I needed. High school drama with the added bonus of potential blood-sucking and pseudo-cannibalism. But from what I'm guessing, not all vampires drink blood, right? From what he was motioning, because he just, I don't know. That's what I'm guessing. But this is where I have to stop, because we are over time. Literally, this route is going by so quickly because I'm enjoying it so much, and I'm not realizing it, the time. But anyway, thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
touch it, touch it, touch it.